today, as I unpacked everything, I decided I was going to get rid of some stuff. Started putting a few things on the table over here, and as I was doing so, came up with the bright idea, why not share just what's in my studio with you? I figured it's entertaining. So grab some popcorn, get a drink, and I'll meet you over at the cameras. So on the top shelf here, I got the DJI Pocket 3. It is a necessary tool that we love to use. I got the Pocket 2 up here. I got a Halo rangefinder. I got my beautiful Vortex binoculars. One of the things I'd recommend is get yourself a good pair of binoculars if you're doing bird photography, but don't get anything above 8 magnification. I got 10 magnification on both my binoculars. They're a little bit too big and a little bit too heavy in the field. Now, if you're carrying around something like a 500 f4 or the Sigma 150 to 600 for some people, 60 to 600 Sigma Sport, those lenses kind of get to be, you know, even in the 600, they get bigger. The point is, if you've got a big heavy lens, you don't want big heavy binoculars to go with the big heavy lens. The point of binoculars is so you can spot things far away, but you don't want to have any more extra weight than what you have, especially when you're hiking. Hiking and carrying gear are two things that go hand in hand, but they will beat you up. So, but I use binoculars. Sometimes I'll take my rangefinder if I've been to a location about 5 or 6 times and I want to know how far the subject is away. So the rangefinder comes in super, super handy. Like I said, the DJI Pocket, I got the combo with the microphones and everything. Pocket 3's been great. I keep all my cords and cables up here, Sigma adapter, little headlamp, stuff like that. Mostly this is extra cords and cables that are really important, and there are HDMI that go to cameras. So I have different spots in the house where I keep different cables. Over here, I've got cables just for charging phones and electronics. Over here, I have HDMI cables with mini HDMI ports on it and stuff like that, just to stay somewhat organized. And then I got this guy here. This is a video capture card. Everybody should have one of these. They're like 12 bucks, and you can turn anything into a monitor on the fly. Now, my cameras. This is the SX730 from Canon. One of my first point and shoot cameras. It was actually like my 3rd one, but this was my first YouTube channel camera. I got this for vlogging, and almost 10 years ago. Check that out. And over here's my Canon R5. My R5 is my love. This is my one true love right here. I shoot the R5. I have the R7. If you've seen my R5, R6 Mark II, R7 video, R8, I have all 4 of the RP. I had the Canon EOS R, I sold that. I wasn't a big fan of it. It takes great portraits, pretty good video. You got the crop factor with video, which is annoying. Canon used to be really bad with their cripple hammer, not so much anymore. But this camera here, the R7, it is a great camera. Don't get me wrong, I got tons of heat for saying some bad things about this camera, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut this video. But when you shoot wildlife, the focus goes out. I'm telling you guys, it really does. It's just not one of those things that you wanna do, is deal with that camera out in the field. So that's what I shoot with, all right? Down here is my other, right now, I've been flossing the R6 Mark II. I just took the foot off this thing and I got a new tripod foot. This one allows me to go straight on a mount, and the great thing about it is it has a QD mount. And like I said, I used to build long-range precision rifles, if I can ever say that right. So I do have Magpul slings, which are really nice, and the slings with the QD mount allow me to strap this on and not worry about dropping it. So, but this is the R6 Mark II. I absolutely love, love, love this camera. Got the EF to RF mount on there, and it's just a great camera. Also, with this lens, I'm such a cheap bastard. This is tape. It's mossy oak tape. I got a roll of it. Looks just like Gorilla Tape or duct tape for like 7, 8 bucks. And I just wrapped this thing up. The only thing about this tape was, if you want to try this trick, the back side won't adhere to that. So you have to take either Zippo fluid, lighter fluid, rubbing alcohol, and just get the little coating off to get the tape to stick to itself. But that, my friends, is my main cameras and the 500 and the 100 to 500 RF are my two main lenses. For many, many years, until about a year ago, I shot with the EF 100 to 400 Mark II. I also used the teleconverter 1.4, not the 2 times on the 100 to 400, giving me a great effective focal range. It gave me great apertures. It was also one of my preferred lenses for weddings, believe it or not. If you were to send me to a wedding, I'm gonna not only get the great pictures with the portraits and the wides and stuff, but I'm gonna take the 100 to 400 and I'm gonna hide in the back when nobody's looking, where everybody's doing those candid moments. You gotta think, after a wedding, everybody's hyped up. They're all in love, everybody's feeling all cushy, and people are starting to romance each other. It's a romantical time. So, you know, husband and wife, they ain't had a little slap and tickle in a while. Honey's feeding her honey, and you know, they're looking each other in the eyes. Well, if I'm standing there with a 24 to 70, hey, can I get a pose? I'm gonna get 2 fake smiles. But if I'm hiding in the back, I can zoom in and get that true candid moment. And I would get the best shots with the 100 to 400, and it had 4.5 to 5.6 aperture, which was great. Great, great, great. This goes to 7.1. I don't know why they did that. I mean, we got great dynamic range on our cameras, but come on, man, stop raising those apertures. So over here, I got the 800 f11. My personal opinion about this, you can get good video work with it. As far as photography, if you're getting a sloth going down a tree, it might be good for that type of action. Over here, I got the classic version 3 70 to 200 f2.8. I love the EF version. So I love the EF version, so why would I go to the RF? I absolutely love it. And one of the things, I am a true lover of the old EF glass. I used to shoot DSLRs, but this stuff is solid, man. It's solid. All the new lenses are plastic now. They look like toys, and I'm selling my lenses for a fraction of what I paid to buy plastic. And I'm gonna tell you what, the glass on a lot of this stuff is just as good as the glass on the other stuff. Oh, I forgot a couple things. I got 2 times, you gotta have the Mark III if you get the 2 times teleconverter because of the sharpness. This is the Sigma 1.4. Fun fact, this shows up in Lightroom and other softwares as the Mark III Canon, believe it or not, the 1.4. So this comes up as 1.4 teleconverter Mark III in the Canon line instead of saying Sigma 1.4. But this costs just as much as the Mark III, and it is a sharp little one. So if you can't get your hands on a Canon one and you get a option to get a Sigma, don't fret, because it's sharp. And I geek out on pixel peeping. So if I say that I got the GoPro Hero 11 Black, I got a GoPro 5 in here, got the media mods to go with it. I got a whole box and trove of GoPro stuff over there. My other lens, you gotta have a 16 to 35 in the arsenal if you do any type of landscape. Also another great portrait lens. I use this with bands when I do concerts. Get down on the floor and shoot up, and it gives them this aura or this presence of looking down at you, and they're right in front of you, but they look like they're massive, and it stretches them out. It's also good for making mountains look bigger. You gotta get that angle right though. A lot of end caps and media mod stuff in here. I just came back from Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. This was the week, or last week was, where all the birds basically come out at Huntington Beach State Park. I got my 100 millimeter f2.8 macro lens. I absolutely love this lens. It's very sharp, L series. You can actually pick these up for like $600-700 right now. And I always keep my eyes open on how much the lenses are going for. I'm a nerd at heart. I got the 24 to 70 f2.8. I got the 24 to 105 f4. Now, I usually take this one with me for 2 reasons. One, it's a hell of a lot cheaper to break this than break this. And 2, it's got a little more range. That 105, sometimes I need it. So I can take my 500 f4, the 24 to 105, and the 100 to 500, and I'm covered from 100 to 500 here. And then when I need my super sharp stuff, I'll use the 500 with either the 1.4 or 2 times. I got the old nifty 50. All right, don't judge me. You know, I've got some pretty cheap lenses and I got a few expensive ones, but the 85 millimeter is probably by far one of my favorite ever made lenses, the 85, right? 85, 1.2, 1.4, or in this case, 1.8. This lens right here is so sharp. A buddy of mine got the RF85, and I used this on my Canon EOS R when the Rs came out before the R5s. And he bought a Canon EOS R and he bought the 85 1.2. And his image compared to this, side by side, was a little bit better. This is 300, his is 3,000. I couldn't see $2,700 worth of difference. So I kept this one. And to be honest with you, this lens on the R5 or the R6 Mark II or the R8, it is amazing. The mirrorless cameras give you such good results. And if it's a good, clean, clear piece of glass with good bokeh, then keep it. Why upgrade if you don't need to? This gets the job done. These are tools. We don't need to go into debt and sell our house for tools. Over here, I got this for Christmas. This is the Andy Cine. This thing is amazing. If you're looking for a small portable monitor and you don't want to spend $599 for the Atmos and all the other stuff that's going to knock you back down about $1,000, you can pick up one of these. It is a touchscreen. It comes with everything you need in here, and the thing is just great. But this is the Andy Cine, and when I need a monitor, it's there for me. And this thing was only a couple $100, and everything I need is in here for a couple $100. It also records to little thumb drive SD cards, so it's great because I've got boxes of those things. The other thing is I keep all my little extra spare parts. Remember I was telling you about the legs and stuff? All my adapters, the feet of my tripods in here. So this is a camera cage. You guys know what these are. Put your monitor on it, camera cage. So basically small rig. I got it from them for like $100, and my R5 and R6 Mark II, when I need to do video work with one and then shoot portraits with the other, I'll slap this on one of them. It just depends on what I'm feeling that night. I don't have a specific one. Down here is something I want to show you real quick. This went to my 100 to 500. B&H Photo sent me my lens, but they forgot to send me this, and they couldn't find one. So they told me to go out and buy one. They were going to reimburse me. I almost forgot to show you guys this. This is from iShoot. Look at this thing. It's just great because you can put a QD mount in here. You can screw in an adapter in there. It's super light. The fit and finish looks great, but it goes straight to your tripod. You got that plate. You gotta have that plate. I don't know why Canon and all the other companies still do these old plates like this. There should be a little cutout right here. If I had a machine, I'd just run it through and get it done. Got my GoPro box, and I keep all my important stuff in here, like little tiny wires, cables, things like if I took the bottom off my R5 to put the battery pack, anything that's important that goes to a camera goes in this GoPro box. So I have designated things for where things go because, as you can see, everything's a mess right now, but I know where everything is because it's in its designated area. The other thing that you guys aren't seeing, I have the Rode mic set, the Rode mics on here, and the camera that I'm filming on today is actually the Sony AX5 III that I bought a lifetime ago. Camera is amazing. It has a built-in gimbal inside of it, and it's got a Zeiss lens in it, so it's just an amazing camera. This is one of my favorite things that my wife got me too. This was only about $150. It's the GH3, okay? The name of the company is called Kilahada. Let you guys see that. Kilahada makes this. This is by far one of the best gimbals that I've used with the 500 and 600 f4s. It can really lock down that weight. There's been a lot of times in the past where I've had, say, a ball head, and I go to lock down a shot like the moon, for instance. I love taking moon pictures, and when I go to take the picture and I lock it down, it starts to move a little bit. This thing, when you lock it, it's locked. And it's also, when you loosen it, it's got just the right amount of everything that you can do birds in flight. And I do a lot of birds in flight, so I have to be precise. When I have to be precise, I need to be precise. And that allows me to do it, and it did not break the bank. I also keep extra lens hoods down here. And then all the way on the bottom down here, can we see? I have one of my favorite little contraptions here. Let me get this up, I don't wanna. I've been knocking stuff over since we started this video. This right here is the Avila C32 4D monopod. This thing is sweet, and I'll show you why. What makes this thing so special is you can unscrew this bottom, right? And then you can put your ball head on top of it, or your fluid head, and you can just use this and sit up on a table, or you can lay on the ground and use it. You know, like those, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a dish and they put their gimbal heads in it. The Avila 510 fluid head. And these are strictly for my 500mm f4. And it can handle the weight of that. So if you got something smaller, say you want to shoot with the 100 to 500s or the 800mm f11 or the Canon 200 to 800 that's out there, this will definitely hold that if it holds this, because my R5 with both batteries, with the battery pack and this lens and all the gear on it, come to 13.2 pounds. It's a hell of an amount of weight. Another one of my favorite, I got a couple other fluid heads down here. I'm not gonna go into every fluid head, but these are just a couple budget carbon fiber tripods that are really, really good. The first one is from Man Billy. Man Billy, here's the model number, was it WZ285C. This one's so light and just compact. As you can see, it's just fit and finish is great. This thing holds all the weight of all my lenses. Never had an issue out of it. So if I need something smaller and light to take with me, this one definitely hits the road with me a lot. Usually when I pack up and hit the road, I go to a lot of locations. I usually will pack all 3 tripods, and I'm gonna show you a little trick to how I get my gear around. This is NRL carbon fiber tripods. These things are a freaking beast. Look at this thing. This thing is not a joke. It looks like a tree trunk. It's also like 70 inches, so it's a little bit taller than me if I need it to be. It's got this. A lot of people don't like the centerpiece to go up and down because of stability issues. This one is so freaking solid. I went ahead and went with one just because sometimes I like having the extra height. I use it for multiple things, and it's just great. But that's about it as far as this goes. I've got some ND filters in here, some cleaners. One of the things, nobody taught me about photography. I had to learn everything on my own. When I first bought ND filters, I bought ND filters for one of my lenses, not knowing or thinking that later on down the line, I might want to use the ND filter on a bigger lens. Then what happened was it didn't fit the bigger lens. And so I found out the hard way that if you need to buy ND filters, especially, you know, CPLs, variable ND filters, things like that, this is for the people that are new to photography. So I'm trying to help everybody out there. So guys, don't get mad when I say this. This is one of those common sense things that you just don't think about sometimes. So if this is like a 58 and this is like a 62, and I bought a 58 thread, it's not going to fit on a 62, so you got to step up, but sometimes the ND filter isn't big enough. So you get these step up, step down rings, right? But from the get-go, you want to look at all your lenses and say, you know what? What's the biggest lens that I'm going to use a polarize or an ND filter for? That way you just buy one and you can always step it down, but you can't step it up to every size. So buy the biggest one and then get the rings, and then you don't have to buy one for each and every lens or get stuck with the wrong size. Just a little tip. Also, this is something else over here. These are my Freewells ND filters. These are phenomenal. Freewell makes great glass. Over here, I've got a whole bunch of other polarizers and such. Shooting video, doing long exposures. You gotta have that kind of stuff in your toolkit. And then this is a clear piece of glass that goes with, I've got a couple of these, the EF to RF adapters. I got this one from Neewer. And Neewer makes really good stuff except for these things. If you're just using these for everyday smaller lenses, like portrait lenses, go for it. If you're not, I'm gonna show you why real quick and what cost me a lot of money and a lot of headache. Right here, these little screws, you can see there's 4 of them, right? On the Canon lens, Canon has 7 screws. They have 4. Canon screws are twice as long and is twice as thick in diameter than Neewer's are. The reason why is Canon puts more money into their products than Neewer does. That's why Canon's adapter costs double, sometimes triple what these cost. So if you're going to put any weight, do not buy one of these with the control ring. The other one I bought has an ND filter on it. Let me grab that really, really fast and show you. Over here, I showed you the R6 II, I showed you the R5, I showed you the R7. This is the RP. This is a company called Mickey, whatever, everybody gets the name wrong. But Mickey has these. And this was $150. It comes with a clear one, comes with a dark one, and it's just a great, great tool. Another old EF piece of glass that actually looks really good. I keep it around because it works. So this is the little RP. It's light, it's compact, and it's just one of my backup vlogging cameras. I also use this when I want to do reviews and such like that. I'll put this inside of the teleprompter because it's just a great compact camera, and the video is really good out of it. I don't know, I like this little camera. Really like the RP. So, but that's the photo cabinet. I also got 2 bags that I absolutely love. This thing's great to have too. You can put your phone in here or your DJI, and check this out. This is from Neewer. Loosen this, you clamp this on like your tripod leg, and you can put your phone right there and look at your phone, or you can hook up a monitor with this. This thing's like 20 bucks, but it's a great little tool. It's little stuff like this that adds up in your cart. So we got that, we got that, we got that. I also use a couple of these, which keep the humidity out. And last but not least, I have the R8 RP battery pack, the grip. The reason why is the batteries don't last long. Take a smaller battery. I'll be back. These are for this lens right here. This is a 100mm macro. If you get into macro photography, it's really fun. Rainy day, grab a flash, go outside, get some bugs, shoot them, blow them up, have fun. I don't mean blow up the bugs, I mean blow up the pictures. One time I told a guy, I said, hey, you wanna go shoot eagles with me this weekend? He said, you know, that's a class 3 felony. I don't mean shoot eagles, I mean shoot eagles. Oh, people. Anyways, let's put this up. I'm gonna show you 2 bags real quick. These are both from Endurax. You can get these on Amazon, like I said, for just over 125, under 150. You've got all the drone stuff in here. Let me bring this down a little bit, I'm dying over here. And in here, you got every slot you need. I can actually, if I take out the top compartment, right here, I can make the 500 f4 fit in the middle. Put the drone on the side, and I just can't have it ready to shoot when I need to shoot. This is basically my beat up bag. I love this bag. It's got all kinds of compartments in it. But if you guys see anything in this video you want me to do an in-depth review on, feel free. This is my other bag, Endurax, that I use. This one's cool because this one's more of a hiking bag. Put some smaller lenses up here, and then in here you've got a separate bag. Great stuff. Now let's look at the computer systems. Over here, I bought this monitor and this little setup for my wife. She's in the middle of editing some videos. This is the ViewSonic 3481 curved display, 34-inch. This is the ViewSonic 2785. Should have said VP2785. This monitor and this monitor are both 4K. The curved display is my main monitor for doing 95% of my work. As you can see on the screen here, and I'll zoom in a little bit, you can kind of see what's going on here. This is the before and after shot of some pictures that I did the other day while we were out at the beach. Now, Why do I have two monitors? Well, for proficiency when I edit videos, two monitors are great. Also, this monitor is the first and most affordable monitor that has true 100% Adobe RGB. Yes, 100% Adobe RGB. For those of you that don't know it, our monitors have color profiles and they can only handle so much color. That's what makes the value of the monitor go up. So a lot of times you'll get a monitor and you know, $200-300 and you're like, man, it's a great monitor. Well, color wise, you might only get 98% Adobe, or I should say 98% sRGB, which isn't Adobe RGB. It's way beneath it. So when you go on the color scales, this one is far superior because of the Adobe RGB. This is 100% sRGB, but the colors on it are beautiful, it pops, and it's big, and I'm almost 50 years old now, and I'm blind, and you don't see it on my table, but I have lots of reading glasses around the house. Over here, I got my Samsung microphone for doing voiceovers. I also have over here, for when I'm doing reviews, what I'll do is I'll type up the actual review itself, put it on my tablet, set my tablet in here, and let the teleprompter, so that way I have my specs in front of me and I can read off the specs. So, but I'm the type of person, I make all my videos on the fly and try to think things up as I go through, because if I have to sit there and read a script all day, there's no sense in doing it. Now, these are just some small little tripods I got. These are both from Ulanzi. I use these all day, every day. This and this, I use the DJI Pocket 3. This right here, I was so impressed by it. It is so sturdy. It's also a 5-foot selfie stick. The 5-foot is nice because you can set it down on the ground and put like the DJI Pocket 3 on it, and it's almost eye level, and then it can follow you around. So when you're at the lake or something, this is great. And then when you're done, you can put the DJI back on it and bam, and just kind of vlog with it, and you get the best of both worlds. And it's super light because it's made out of a, I shouldn't say cheap plastic, but it's strong enough that it doesn't feel super cheap. The other cool thing about it is I can actually, if I didn't have the plate on here, I have the Scorp gimbal, and I was doing some gimbal work earlier, messing with the gimbal, but if I didn't have that on there, this actually locks down and works with the Canon RP. So it's pretty cool. That's how strong this thing is. This one, pretty much the same thing. It's just a lot smaller, and you only get about 10 inches. I guess that's 10 inches. I don't know. That's what she said. Now, over here, I have got a couple different XP pen drawing pads. I've got a small one that I like to use sometimes. I've got a big one down here. This is the Deco 3. This is the version 2 Pro, I think it's called. Both of these are Bluetooth, which is nice. To get a pen tablet, you know, you don't need to have a wireless one. Honestly, I don't walk around with these, so I could have saved some money and not got the Bluetooth, I guess. But back to the monitors. I love both of these. The monitors are attached to a custom-built PC that yours truly built. Hang on a second. Why is Night Shot on? We don't want Night Shot. Is this teeth? He got going. My babies. I love you guys. I love these dogs. Y'all are so sweet. So in here, let me unplug you guys real quick. This is my beloved. So over here, I got the Height Y60 box. I've got NZXT Kraken push-pull configuration. There's actually 4 fans in here. I got the Intel i9 13K chip. Ran super hot and I got crashes for about 3 months, so I have to undervolt everything. I'm running 2 DIMMs of G.Skill RAM. I actually had 4 sticks that are over here that I'm selling. These are 6,000 mits. It's actually better, believe it or not. You can have 4 sticks or 2 sticks. These motherboards are set up to take 4, but they really run better when there's 2. So I've got 2 sticks at 64 gigabytes each, giving me a total of 128 gigabytes. I got the NZXT Z63 cooler system. This thing's pretty cool because you can put your artwork and your pictures in there. Customize just about everything. And then for a graphics card, it's just the Asus Dual GeForce RTX 3070. 3070, I don't really need nothing bigger. I mean, I'd take a 3080, but this, it all goes together. And oh, and the motherboard is the Asus Z690E. It's the Strix model. So, but that's pretty much it. That's my gaming PC. I also have, I think, close to 30 terabytes of storage in here. This thing takes, I think, 3 or 4 NVMe's in the front. And then in the back, I've got an 8 terabyte storage and 8 terabyte storage. I've got a 2 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 1 terabyte, and a 4 terabyte NVMe drives. So, and then down here, these are 5 terabytes a piece. So I keep all my storage down here. These are my speakers from Klipsch. Yep, the THX speakers. These guys sound freaking amazing. They're not huge. I wanted something small that could fit on this little dinky desk because I got so much to put in this room. This I do want to talk about. This was I believe $149, $150 from Neewer. See that sticky? That's not sugar water and it's not glue. It feels like glue, it feels like tree sap. That is what is leaking out of the inside of this thing. So I had the 500 F4. I was shooting some eagles one day at Jordan Lake and it just started dripping out. And this thing never held that lens properly. Now I read in the comments where people said it did hold the lens, but it doesn't hold the lens properly. Oh, the lights that I use, these are beautiful. These are all newer lights. I got a 3-pack of these. Here's the 3rd one. And then I got some blue lights and some other, all this is lighting over here. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, these are some flashes that I got, some strobe boxes. This is kind of crazy. I bought this back in the day. Canon decided they're gonna come out with something fun. This was the Canon 470EX AI. Now, in today's world, AI, that's a normal word, but back when I bought this, what, 7 or 8 years ago, when it came out, I think it was about 7, 8 years ago, I bought this and I wanted to look like a professional doing flash photography. When I got this, there's a button you push and it shoots the ceiling and it shoots the wall, and then it uses bounce flash. So the cool thing about this thing is you literally, let me cut it on and show you. I'm gonna show you guys. Man. There it goes. See it? Ha ha! Isn't that cool? And then, pow! I don't have a card in the camera, I won't take the shot. But this was state of the art. So basically what you want to do, go in a room, but you have to have a ceiling a couple feet above your head, and you gotta have some walls. If you don't have that, if you're outdoors, you're screwed. But it uses bounce flash. And anybody that used an on-camera flash knows that bouncing the flash off the walls gives you a softer look, especially with the ladies. You want to keep that softness about them and keep our women beautiful, and this did the trick. But let's go back over to the table. But that was the Canon 470EX AI, one of the first AI things that we ever had in photography. This was before Luminar came out with Luminar AI. And this guy gave me this camera. I sold him a 3D printer. It's the EOS 1000D. I can't even get it to work. I did get it to work, but I can't get it to take a decent picture. I wanted to do a comparison, the 1000D versus the R5, but just didn't work out for me. But there's, like I said, a couple things on the table over here. Now behind me, this is where some of my favorite cool stuff is. And I'm gonna try and speed this up as fast as possible, guys. I'm gonna have to shut this big light on up here. It is super bright. I have this so I can find things, because like I said earlier, I got old eyes. This, there's an Amazon resale store up the street. This has pockets and bags, and they're resizable. So I found this there for like $15 or $10, and I had to grab it. And I take this on the road with me a lot of times to categorize cords, cables, cards, things like that. One of my favorite bags. I told you that I am a huge bag lover. This is one of my hiking backpacks that I have. Over here, I've got some camo stuff, ghillie suits, things like that. I've got about 10 of these things. Down here on the floor, this is a company called Sane Logic. They make this guy right here. So if I know I'm going to the lake And I know that my parking lot is here and my lake is 500 yards, 100 yards, whatever, 1,000 yards this way. And even with bumps in the roads and logs, I still throw a lot of my gear in here and I pull this behind me. If I'm doing a photo shoot, I'll put my strobes in here and a lot of my gear and lenses and stuff, because I'd rather have more and not need it than need it and not have it. So this little cart has definitely become one of my best friends. Here's the thing though. They make another one just like this, and it's got the push and pull, and I wished that Sharon would have bought me that. So Sharon bought me a couple little things. She bought me this remote that goes to my DJI drone, which I love. And she bought me this, and then she got me one or two other little trinkets over there. Absolutely love the little things. But I just wish I could push this one. Down here at the bottom on the shelf, I just put this shelf in here. I keep some bungees here. These are some of my chest rigs for when I do photography. It's a chest rig where I can put extra lenses on me, another chest rig where I can run 2 cameras. These are just some of my camera straps. Some are in better shape than others. I'll show you a camera strap. This is one of my wildlife camera straps. Straight up, no joke. Now, let's throw that on the floor over there. I don't want to mix them up. Got some extra lights, soft boxes, got a scale, got a beauty dish back here. I got about 7 or 8 soft boxes in here. Most of my soft boxes are 36 inch. I got a, I believe this is 18-inch beauty dish. Beauty dishes are good to have because they can make a woman softer and make a man harsher. You can get just the right look with a beauty dish. Up top here is a, up top here is a ton of my other bags. This is one of my motorcycle bags. This is a motorcycle bag. These bags are like $300 each. It's ridiculous how much they charge for motorcycle bags. I got DJI bags, this bag, that bag, this bag, but there's 2 bags in particular I want to show you that are super cheap that you can buy on Amazon, and they really, really help. 2 of my favorite bags out of even my more expensive bags. So this company called Ultimax makes these little bags, right? This one was like $30. The other one I think was 40 or 50. This is just big enough. I actually had it on the back of my bicycle at one point. I got a mountain bike to lose some of this weight. Broke my back, fell 30 feet a few years back, and I haven't been right since. And I needed to get in shape because sometimes you just put on weight from the pain. You can't get the exercise you need, even though you stay busy. It also knocks your metabolism down, and at my age, things are getting harder to do every year. But this is just perfect. I can fit, say, my R5 or R6, R7, whatever, with an 800 millimeter, and it fits right in there, or the 100 to 500 with the camera ready to go. And then I've got the side pocket, put a vlogging camera and one other lens in here, so I can throw like a wide angle. And just this one little bag with this strap has lasted me over a year, and my stuff, my wildlife stuff, I should say, gets beat up pretty heavily. But this little bag, for the little amount of money I paid, has made me so happy. It's one of my favorite items. So when I saw another bag from these guys on Amazon, Ultimax, this is my main bag now. What I'll do is I'll put one lens in each one of these, and then stuff camera. Set this down in my cart, my little wagon wheels, set it in there, and then I can just pull stuff out as needed when I'm on a shoot, and it's great. Now, I haven't really tested this thing out so much. They are plastic tabs, you know, buyer beware. This is a $40, $50 bag. It's huge, you can fit all your stuff in it. But everything I need for a photo shoot, I can put in here. There's all types of space in the front for extra batteries and SD cards and little pockets everywhere. I love this bag. It's one of my favorite bags. Really love it. In the far back corner, I've got rolls and rolls of paper from back when I used to have, this room used to actually be a photo shoot studio. And I started out with the Godox strobes. Let's go over here. I'm almost done, guys. Over here is my printer, the Canon Pro 100, shoots 13 by 19s. Here is one of the portfolio books from back in the day. Here's one of the portraits I did, natural light of my daughter when she was about 14. Then I've just got a lot of wildlife stuff in here and, you know, just crazy stuff. I loved this picture right here. It was just some random couple on the beach. And yeah, I took a picture of them. They don't even know that I got that picture. But I love to print stuff out. And I found, you know, different inks and papers over the years are definitely fun. Rubber bands and lens wipes. Two things I can't have enough of, and that's it. I got tons of ink in here. 8 little ink cartridges from Canon, $150 to print. So if you're gonna get into printing, find a company that makes really good third-party ink. I have one. If you want, I'll give you a shout out. The refills, all that other stuff. Love to do it. Also, if you're ever going to print, get yourself one of these. This is a data color monitor calibrator. Monitor color calibrator. Lot. But this would keep your monitor with the ICC profiles up to snuff. In here, this is all microphones. I keep my Rode mics in here. Gotta have microphones. Audio is so important. I use the Mavic Air 2S. I bought the Air 2 years ago, upgraded to the S. Really love this drone. Use it for photography mostly. I really should be using this for B-roll to make more epic videos. I wanted to show you these. Probably obsolete now. These are the Vision 5 battery-powered strobes from my favorite company, Neewer. Now, I did say I hated Neewer earlier. I have a love-hate relationship. Some of their stuff is just built tough, tougher than nails, and it lasts. No issues. Other stuff they cheap out on. These are the SK400 too. These were like 200 a piece when I bought them. I bought a set of 3 and then I had like little light gels and stuff and I'd play around with these. This is my battery charging station over here. I just make sure every battery gets charged up before I hit the road. And that's kind of my little system. That's gonna wrap up today's episode. If you made it this far, God bless you. Thank you for making it to the end. If I could ask one more time, please hit like, share, subscribe. The dog is eating the tripod right now. She's trying to shut me up. But it'll help me get out there in that YouTube algorithm and finally get monetized and help pay for some of this stuff. I love you guys. Thank you once again. God bless. I will see you all in the next one. And don't forget to tell me what you want to see more of. Take care. God bless.